when something like this happens.
Investigators say this gray and white house is where 38-year-old Trin Nguyen shot her two sons, 13-year-old J and 9-year-old NT, in their bedrooms. The shots fired on Timber Ridge Road in Upper Makefield Township around 7 o'clock Monday morning.
It's a very difficult image to get out of my head.
Upper Makefield Township police were called to the home after a 22-year-old who lives in the duplex says Nguyen pulled a black revolver on him after handing him pictures to give to her ex-husband. They say Nguyen attempted to fire 2 shots, but the gun jammed, giving the victim time to react.
Wrapped her in a bear hug and eventually was able to disarm her. She then immediately fled.
Hours later, police surrounded and apprehended Nguyen at the Washington Crossing Methodist Church about 6 minutes away from her home. She was reportedly under the influence and suicidal.
We have some very strong leads on motive, but I think it would be premature and unfair of me to comment on motive right now.
While detectives look into an official motive, Eyewitness News learned Nguyen was set to be evicted after a judge issued an order of possession on April 14th. Court documents show she owed about $11,000 in rent.
It's just sad to see a family go through this.
The Council Rock School District issued a statement saying they were deeply saddened by this incident involving 2 of their students. Regarding their mother, charges will be upgraded once the boys are taken off life support. We're live in Upper Makefield Township. Jasmine Payu, TBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Jasmine, thank you.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the 4 corners of the globe, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And Shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching His word truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. I say Shalom to you Akim out there. And this is another quick sit-down lesson on this Tuesday morning, which is 12:48 a.m. Central Standard Time. And today's date is May the 5th, 2002. And the highlight of this news article: mother charged after shooting her 2 boys' children, which are not expected to survive, Bucks County DA says. And today's title for this sit-down lesson is going to be in the last days, perilous time should come. And I'm gonna read this news article, even though I just showed the little video right there about the woman shot her 2 sons, and it was in the suburbs of Pennsylvania, a wealthy neighborhood as well too. And I believe this woman shot her 2 kids, shot them both close blank range, close range. Both of them shot in the head. So they was 13 and 9 years old, so they on life support, so they expect to not survive. So that comes into the the times that we are living in. There's gonna be some perilous times of people just out here losing their mind, just doing crazy stuff. Even if you live in the wealthiest neighborhood, or you in the middle class or lower class or upper class, because when you have those evil spirits and wicked spirits on you or around you, make you do such crazy things like this, because these are the times that we are living in, because even though we're so used and accustomed of seeing things like this, but in the times that we are living in, it's going to furthermore increase, last days, perilous times should come. Let's see. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. Know also that in the last days, perilous times should come, right? Because we are definitely living in those times, of these perilous times that we are living in, that's kind of mind-boggling and crazy that here you are in a wealthy neighborhood, I believe when they was reading one of the news reporters was saying that she was getting evicted from her home, and the landlord sent her notifications that she haven't paid her rent. She owed $11,000 in her rent and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to get any further into her business, but that was just according to the news report. But when you're going through hard times like that, it makes you do crazy things. It's kind of messed up that she shot her 2 kids. The kids, they shouldn't have nothing to do with that. If you're going through something, try your best to seek help, But I was just bringing in scripture right here. These are more of a prime example you might potentially going to see to increase in these last days, of what that woman just did. Shot her 2 kids, shot them point blank range in the head, both of them, and they expected not gonna survive because they on life support. And I'm gonna bring the scripture out again for edification's sake. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2. This is the book of 2 Timothy, I meant to say, chapter 3, verse 1. This is also that in the last days, perilous time shall come. Let's see if I can bring out another scripture. I don't know if this part will be the right one. Yep. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not seen the beginning of the world this time, but nor never shall be. Right, because we are living in the times of great tribulations. And these are the beginning of sorrows for what's about to come and continue to happen. There's going to be a multitude of evils, of crazy things that's going on in the world, and it's going to continue to increase. There's going to be evils increase upon the world, because these are signs of the times that we are living in, We're living in the last days, I'm going to bring out another scripture as well, too. These are the beginning of sorrows.
Set of economic sanctions. You see, in fact, that exceeded what I think many commentators thought was going to be capable. 6 months ago we were.
This is another precept of the scripture, previous 2 scriptures that I brought out. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 8 through the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, "And all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Because we are in the currently stages of in the process of these beginning of sorrows, because it's gonna be more multiple evils increasing in the world, you know. And I'm bring out another precept too: the love of many shall wax cold. Let's see. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12. And it reads through the Holy Scriptures. And because of the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, right? Because the love of many is going to wax cold in these last days. You know, people are going to have these evil spirits towards one another or towards their family members. You know, you have these evil spirits and then they'll turn on their family members, or if they're going through some type of financial situation or personal situation or many different factors like that, you know, because, you know, these are the perilous times that we're living in. And I'm going to look up the definition of perilous for more edification. Right, perilous. The definition of perilous, which is an adjective of full of danger or risk, a perilous journey south. Perilous, exposed to imminent risk of disaster or ruin. The economy is in a perilous state. You know, these just are prime examples of perilous. It says, what do you mean of perilous? Perilous, danger, hazardous, precautious. Perilous, risky, meaning bringing or involve the chance of loss or injury. Dangerous applies to something that may cause harm or loss unless dealt with carefully. Right, so, and we are in those times of perilous times of danger or increase or of or loss, you know. And I'm gonna look up another definition of iniquity. That's because nobody, and I mean nobody, makes hybrid work better. Cisco, the bridge to Boston. In more cases of iniquity shall increase and abound as well too. And the love of many shall wax cold. And the definition of iniquity, which is a noun, immoral or grossly unfair behavior, right? You're gonna see more craziness of more of a unfair behavior, dense or iniquity, similar to wickedness. It says, what does the Bible means of iniquity? According to the Webster's Dictionary, the word iniquity means gross injustice, wickedness, or sin. Or another prime example, gross injustice and wickedness. We are hearing about a lot of more these days. Yep. Or the true meaning of iniquity. Number one, and it reads gross injustice, weakness, a wicked act or thing or sin. Right, because you'll see more, high increase of iniquity. You know, it's going to further increase more, especially the scripture that I just brought out. You know, the love of many shall wax cold. You know, it's going to continue to further increase. You're going to hear more cases of like this, more examples of such tragic incidents happening like this in these last days, you know. Iniquity, a definition, a wicked or unjust or unrighteous act, a grossly immoral act, a sin. Definition of iniquity is a sin or wrongdoing. An example of iniquity is someone running into a person with their car on purpose. Right? Because you're gonna see more iniquity, perilous times. Love of many shall wax cold against their own family members or against their neighbors or against somebody else or randomly, because these are the signs of the times, that we're living in. And it's gonna furthermore increase in these last days. So with that, I hope this was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, a great millstone, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, and preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom.